Have you ever wondered how a web browser displays a website? Well, it's not as simple as you might think. A web browser is a powerful tool, a digital portal that carries us from the physical world into the boundless universe of the internet. It's a translator taking the complex language of code and transforming it into the vibrant, interactive websites we use every day. But a website isn't just a single, static entity. It's a dynamic combination of various elements, from text and images to videos and animations. Each of these components is written in a different language, like HTML, CSS or JavaScript. And it's the browser's job to interpret these languages, to take the raw code and render it into the fully formed web pages we see on our screens. So, how does this magic happen? How does a browser take a jumbled mess of code and turn it into a beautiful, functional website? Let's dive into the process. The process starts when you type a URL into your browser and hit enter. This action sets off a chain of events, a digital conversation, if you will, between your browser and the server hosting the website. The browser, acting as the messenger, sends a request to the server, a sort of digital knock on the door, asking for the website's contents. This request is like asking, "Hello, can I have a look at your website, please?" The server, upon receipt of this request, responds by packing up the website's files, the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are the building blocks of the website, the blueprint, the paint, and the tools. The server sends these files back to the browser like a beautifully wrapped package full of potential. This back and forth happens in the blink of an eye, all to bring you the website you requested. Now, the browser has got the files, but how does it turn them into the website you see? Once the browser receives the files, it starts the process of parsing and rendering. Now, what does that mean? Simply put, parsing is the act of reading the files that make up a website. These files are typically written in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Think of HTML as the bones of the website. It provides the basic structure. It's like a blueprint, detailing where each part of the website should be. CSS, on the other hand, is like the skin and clothes that cover those bones. It determines the style of the website, dictating the colors, fonts, and layouts used. Then we have JavaScript. JavaScript is like the puppet master pulling the strings. It adds interactive elements to the website, making it responsive and dynamic. After the browser has parsed these files, it combines them to create a visual representation of the website. So, the browser has parsed the files, but we're not done yet. After parsing the files, the browser begins the layout and painting steps. The layout process is a bit like piecing together a complex jigsaw puzzle. The browser uses the information from the HTML and CSS to create a render tree. This tree represents the visual layout of the page, positioning each element in its rightful place. Think of it as a blueprint. It's a detailed plan that instructs the browser on how to construct the page. The layout process also accounts for responsive design, adapting the render tree to the size of the user's screen. Then comes the painting step. This is where the browser brings the website to life. It's like an artist painting a masterpiece, taking the blueprint and adding colors, images, and text. The browser paints or displays the page on your screen, layer by layer, until the entire page is visible. So the browser has painted the page, and voila, you see the website. Let's quickly recap the magical process your web browser goes through to display a website. Imagine your browser as a wizard, conjuring up a digital world from a spellbook of code. First, it sends out an intrepid request, seeking the website's files from the vast reaches of the internet. Once our wizard has the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in hand, it starts the enchantment. It parses these files, reading the code like an incantation, and breathes life into a render tree, a blueprint of the website. This tree is a map, detailing every element to be displayed, from headers to footers, images to text blocks. Next, the browser lays out the elements, arranging them in their rightful place on the screen. Finally, just like an artist, it paints the page, giving it color and depth. And voila, this digital world becomes visible to you, and that's how a web browser turns lines of code into the websites you see every day.